the meditation we're going to do is going to be a mythology practice setup. This meditation is, I'm at this point attempting to meditate and focus every week on requests made by the viewers. So, a couple things. First of all, make sure you subscribe below. Subscribing to YouTube is free. Subscribing to this channel is free. And then there's a little bell next to the channel, and it will, if you click that bell, it will notify you when I'm live. And so you'll get a notice on your phone, and you won't have to worry about tracking it. But what I'm doing in the meditations is I am intentionally focusing on subjects that have been requested. So when people have asked me about help with something, last week's sleep meditation was specifically for that. People, sometimes when people have a lot of anxiety and stress, they struggle with sleep and are often told don't meditate before you go to sleep, but actually it's a great time to meditate. And so last week's sleep meditation addressed that. This week, what I'm getting into is this mythology practice. So for those of you that know about the program we do at the Inspired Evolution Project, you know what mythology is. This is a phase 3 practice. So I really want to give people a setup. So if they're struggling with their practice at home, they now have a meditation that's a setup into that practice. So if you're struggling with phase 1 and phase 2 practices, this will give you those so you can go right into phase 3. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the phases or with mythology, you can visit our website. It's listed right below me here. Oh, camera, get used to it. Oh, it's right there. InspiredEvolutionProject.com. It tells you the phases. Also, there's a free video on there that helps with phase 1 and phase 2 practices. That's all free. You don't have to sign up or give your name or anything like that. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be actually releasing a free class on those phases. So you can go in at any time and take that Introduction to Brain Chemistry class, and it will help you with those first 2 phases. So also this meditation will be here to help. So that's our goal tonight, is to do that meditation that really sets us up for the practice. And so the other thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned to please subscribe and click for notifications. Also, once we have 100 subscribers, we get a channel name. So when people are looking for us, you can actually just tell them the name of the channel. For right now, it's Random Letters and Numbers because we're not quite at 100 subscribers yet. So go ahead and subscribe, and then that way we'll have a channel name. But on top of that, put requests in the comments below or in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group. Just put in requests for meditations you need. Say, I'd like a meditation with a focus on deepening a body scan, or I'd like a meditation for overcoming addictive tendencies, or or giving us energy if maybe somebody has depression or something. So just put in the comments below meditations you'd like to see or questions you have about the way I approach meditation. A lot of information is on the website, but I really want this to be interactive. So anyway, with all that said, what I want to do now is I want to start meditating. This meditation won't have a lot of setup like the sleep meditation did, because I don't want to get too deep into brain chemistry. So I do recommend checking out the website if you want to know more about it. What we're going to do in this meditation is I'm going to set you up with a prompt that is a good, first of all, de-escalating prompt, one that just prepares our mind to become centered. And then we'll do some centering practices, and then we'll go ahead and go into the setup for mythology practices. And I'll include some notes for continuing mythology. So my goal with this meditation is that you can use it to set up that mythology practice. But then while you're using it, pause it to do your writing, and then play again, and it will have different prompts to keep you going, to keep you in that practice. And so again, we're going to do a simple mythology practice, probably something you might have done before, but you should have a different experience with it tonight. And then we will, I will include in it things to help you keep that prompt going as you progress. So that's where we are tonight. If you have any questions or comments, again, put them in the comments below and I'll address them in the next meditation. Even if you have questions you want me to answer when I log on, I'll answer as many of those as I can. So welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm so happy that you could join me, and we're going to go ahead now and we're going to start meditating. Okay, so the way we're going to start is the way we always start, which is just taking a deep breath. And a perfect practice for that first stage, for that stage 1 of meditation, which is that making sure that our brain isn't triggered, making sure that we've just taken enough of the edge off of our stress or anything else that's happening in our life, just enough to be able to meditate. So we're going to do this by doing a practice I call connecting in body, mind, and spirit. And the way I look at this is to become fully present in body, mind, and spirit. There are 3 specific things we're going to use for focus. The first of those is body. So we're going to become present in our body. And to be present in our body, what this means to me is I'm aware of my body. I'm aware of where my feet are right now. Are they on the floor? Are they tucked under my body? Am I laying down? Are they, am I in a horizontal position and they're resting? And if they are, how are they resting? Are they resting slightly open? Are they comfortable? How is the rest of my body? Are there any places where I have tension? Are there any places that feel tight or disconnected? Do I feel unclear or anxious about anything? Do I feel lethargic? So we're just being aware of the body. Gaining awareness of the body is so significant to living in a healthy way. So just awareness brings us our body fully present. My body is here in the room I'm in right now, connected to the furniture where I'm sitting, feeling the clothes I'm wearing. I feel the weight of my body. I feel the full presence of my body. The next level of presence we want to connect with is the mind. So to be present in mind is to say, I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking of anything that happened yesterday or at work today, or what the neighbor down the street is doing, or whether or not things are happening in the world the way I want them to. I'm not focused anywhere else in the world, and I'm not focused anywhere else along my timeline. I'm not focused on the future or the past. I am connected right now to this thought, to this moment, to being in this room. So that's what fully present in the mind is. So now that I know I'm fully present in the body and I'm fully present in the mind, I want to talk about what it means to be fully present in spirit. And what that means is I come to this moment without masks, with no pretense. I come authentic and real, and not just honoring who I am, not saying I am enough, or not saying I bring my flawed self here, but I come unmasked in my beauty, in recognizing the genius of who I am, in full realization of my presence as a human being, my individual presence, my presence that is like no other human. And to me, that is what full presence in spirit is. So when doing this work, this is phase one. All I've done in this moment is I've brought myself back into the space where I am, and I've disconnected from those things that might be a distraction. And so what I want to do when I'm doing a mythology practice is next I want to move into being centered. And what I'm going to do for being centered today is something we can do at any time, in any place. And that is to deepen my experience. And oftentimes when we're doing a centering practice, what I have you do is deepen your experience with the world. So I have you connect with sound and smell and taste, and these are all really good. So if this helps you in your mythology practice, it's a good thing to do. But today we're going to start with salient experience and what is called interoceptive emotion. This is connecting with the internal body. This is where most of us have lost our connection. We are not aware of our body systems. This is why we eat junk food. This is why we push our body too hard. This is why we don't sleep as well, because we are not connected to the internal functions of the body and not being in awareness on those. So what I want to do as a centering practice today is to become aware of the body, the inside of your body. So we're going to begin at a physical level, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did with the first practice, but we're going to become present in a different way. So first we're going to connect with that physical body. So what I want you to do now is to go into a deeper realization of your body. So be more than aware of just your body being, your feet being on the floor, or your breath being deep. What I want you to do is I want you to attempt to connect with the internal workings of your body. So see if you can't conceptually feel blood coursing through your veins. Connect with the concept of how blood moves. Oftentimes in life, 2 steps forward and 1 back seems like a bad pattern, but this is the way the tides flow, and this is the way the body pumps blood. The heart squeezes, and there's a push of blood out to the body, and then that relaxes. And then there's another push, and we feel this as a pulse. But what I want you to do is connect with that sensation, that concept of blood moving through your bodies, and try to become aware of any places where it may not be circulating in the way it should. If there are any ways your blood, places of your body that your blood isn't reaching in the way it should, maybe. Like maybe you're sitting lotus style, and maybe for you today there's a way that it's cutting off circulation somewhere. May adjust yourself to become aware of the flow of blood through your body. Be aware of all your internal organs, and this idea that they're constantly working. The lungs are always breathing. The heart is always beating. The stomach is churning. The liver is filtering, is processing fats and toxins. The kidneys are filtering. Uh, all of these parts of the body are working continuously. So just connect with them and realize, am I holding my stomach too tight? Do I have room for my lungs to expand? How about the rest of my body? Are my clothes restrictive around the waist or anything? In what way can I give my body room to function? Am I aware of the inner workings? I think a lot of the area of the throat. This is where our voice is. It's also how we eat and how we breathe. The throat is so vital. It has so many functions. Like just now, even me sharing this meditation, my throat is processing and controlling the air to create certain words. And I don't even have to consider how that happens, but I can if I allow myself become aware of my throat. And then on top of that, now I want to become aware of even my ears processing sound. But don't think about the sound. Think about how your inner ear feels. How it's interacting, how your eyes feel, how your eyeballs feel inside of your sockets. And so now as we come out of the body and that connecting with the body, I don't want you to just shift gears. What I want you to do now is take that into the mind. And understand the mind is something more than the brain. The brain is not the same as the mind. Plants have a mind. They don't have a brain. So plants don't feel pain per se because they don't have a central nervous system, but they do have a mind. They have memory to follow patterns of light. They communicate with one another and they adapt. And all of these things suggest a mind, an intelligence that they have. So take the idea out of intelligence, out of the thinking, and take it into the broader spectrum of the mind. All the DNA in your body is part of your mind. Your body is full of information, and the mind that you have remembers everything it's ever needed to remember to keep you safe. Even if those safety mechanisms have become a discomfort for you, at some point your mind understood a possibility in them. Also, your mind connects you to people. When you find like-minded people and you feel synchronicity and you feel connectedness, this is your mind being aware of levels of relationship that your consciousness can't comprehend. Your mind has created of your body this ability to walk, to stand, to do all of these things we do every day, just reaching for someone or speaking or walking down the street, or all of these functions that we do without thinking anymore. So much even of the brain is subconscious. But it's not just the brain that's creating your life. It's the interaction of your brain with your body and with your environment. And all of this is your mind. So deepening that understanding of mind, see if you can't connect with a deeper level of your mind. Some of you might experience this as a soulful experience, as a somatic experience. There is so much in your system, your body, that's constantly measuring everything. Temperature, barometric pressure, moisture in the air. So many things happen. Some people feel experiences as storms come, or shifts are occurring. So being aware of that level of mind, that is the genius, that is the intelligence of who we are. And then as we get into deepening and using this centering practice to connect with the spirit, again, this is you unveiled. Sometimes we reach all the way back to our childhood to remember the moments where we felt so inspired, where the world was rich and full of possibility, and where there were no limits to what we could do, to who we could be, to how we could create. In this moment, I'd like you to connect with that part of yourself that is like no other person that existed. Every single one of us is unique. No one has ever existed before that is you. And never again will anyone that exists that is exactly you. You are unique. And so often we're looking for this life where we can live purpose. And the truth to me is that our purpose is to be as much of ourselves as possible without taking on any other rules or definitions or expectations, but to just be able to be ourselves, to express in the way we want to express, to be the gender we feel internally, to be interact in the world in the way that feels right in our soul, to have a career that makes us happy, to live a life of service, not in a way that's defined by society, but in a way that says, me being me is a great gift to humanity. And as we connect to this level, this is what I want us to take into our mythology today. So I want you to ask yourself today, if you already have a mythology practice going and you're using this to prompt your mythology, you can continue with the mythology that you have. But if you're new to this practice, I want you to imagine if you had the opportunity and there was no limitation, what superhuman presence would you create? So if you could be a superhero or a master teacher or a genius that alters the face of the planet, if you could be the most amazing version of yourself without limitation, if there was nothing to hold you back, if everything in the world was set up for you to live from that place, connect with who you would be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us a series of mythology prompts, and I'm going to continue with the prompts. Again, if you're using this for practice in the future, just pause in between the prompts and write for as long as you want to write. And then go back and use another prompt another day. Well, the prompt I want to start with is I want you to imagine as this superhuman that you are going to write about today. Where I want you to just imagine yourself in a place. It might be the place where you would live, or it might just be the place you would go. Maybe it would be the place that needed you most, where you would serve, where you would give your gift. Wherever you end up, I want you to connect with where you are. And the first thing I want you to connect with is, what time of day is it where you are? I want you to describe your experience of what time of day it is. So that'll be our first prompt. Again, if you want to write a lot about that prompt, you can just pause the video and write that, or you could take a note of it and maybe do some writing tonight. The second prompt is, what time of year is it where you are? Are there varying seasons? And if they are, what season is it? The third prompt is, are you there alone, or are there others with you? The next prompt is, what are you doing there? Why are you in that place? What is the reason for you being there? And the last prompt I'm going to give you for this meditation, because just this number of prompts should give you at least 20 minutes of writing practice, is, who are you in this space as this superhuman being? How does it feel to be you? And I want you to practice, how does it feel to in the body? Describe the body. Describe how that body works. Again, go deep into the muscles, into the organs, into, do you feel strong, or do you fly, or connect with the body, connect with the mind. How does your mind work as a superhero? How astute are you? How aware are you of your environment? How aware are you of the space around you? Do you have a good spatial recognition? Be aware of that. And finally, in spirit, unveiled, uncloaked, as your authentic self, who are you in this space as this being doing this thing you're doing? You can set up a mythology practice. I usually recommend maybe doing a certain amount of days in a row. So you can do a 3-day mythology, or a 10-day, or a 30-day. This is a great meditation practice. It is going to really strengthen the left and right hemispheres of the brain. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let you continue with your writing. Again, I recommend 20 minutes a day, right before bed if you can. This will significantly shrink the amygdala. So this meditation, from beginning to end, since I've signed on, is approximately 30 minutes. So you can use whatever parts of it best serve you, but I hope it improves your mythology practice. I want to remind everyone, if you like the meditation, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get notified of upcoming meditations. Also, if you have any meditation requests, just please remember to put them in comments. I'm happy to create whatever meditations people feel they need. So I'm going to sign off and let you continue with your meditation. And I do hope everyone has a beautiful evening. I hope this has helped enrich your mythology practice. And again, if you need more, looking for more prompts, make sure you leave me a comment. Have a beautiful evening.